Now, Abhay from Fiki to quickly open up the session and then we'll take it over. Abhay, Abhay, can you hear us?
Yeah, hi. I was waiting for you to unmute me, Ashish.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's session. Today, as you see, we'll be talking more on how we can leverage the digital transformation and create a blueprint for our own enterprises. I believe all of you represent one or the other. And I will also take this opportunity to welcome eminent speakers today, Ashish Mittal and Mr. Sumit Kanu. Ashish have been associated with us with Fiki for quite some time, and we have been taking his help to support a few enterprises across a few programs that we do, where we support startups, social enterprises to help scale their business within India and across other geographies. Just to give you a brief introduction of Ashish, Ashish is a chief mentor and founder of Turning Ideas Solutions, which is an incubator and also mentoring technology driven startups. He himself is an angel investor. Ashish has a very profound professional experience. He has over 2 decades of experience working in media sector, telecom sector, with companies like Google, Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, Ericsson, and HP. So across his illustrious career so far, he has been able to uh, see the insights, see how technology have been being leveraged by large corporates, and how the same could also be provided to SMEs, startups, and SMEs across different sectors. He's an engineer by education. And the other speaker today on board is Mr. Sumit Kanu. He's also a startup mentor and has been advising CEOs and entrepreneurs for quite some time now. He has over 15 years of experience in the corporate world, have been uh, working as a management consultant, have been an entrepreneur, social worker, helping entrepreneurs, SMEs to make deals, help them reach out to customers and clients. He has been a trainer, mentor across multiple industries, sectors, uh, which are in which varies in different size and growth stages. And he has been also able to assist a few CEOs and business owners as well, mid-size and large size as well. He's passionate about uh, supporting entrepreneurs, and he has just one mantra. Trying to simplify the choices that you could possibly make to grow your business. So with this, I've been open the session and just a few ground rules. I would request all of you, and not only request, encourage all of you to park your questions in the chat box itself, which we'll request both the eminent speakers to take it up. And we'll try and make it much more interactive, where Ashish and Sumit would take you through the presentation that they have. But it will be really good if you could interact and engage with them and take this opportunity to leverage what they're trying to convey to you. So on behalf of Iki, I again welcome each and every one of you to today's session. And without further ado, I give it to Ashish and Sumit.
Thank you, Abhay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate for this opportunity. I think I call this is the best possible times to reinvent and re-engineer an enterprise. So as you rightly said, we kind of overly delayed by 10 minutes, so I don't want to delay it further. Just moving on, and Sumit, can I request you to change the charts, please? Appreciate. Thank you. Okay, quick introduction about me. I think Abe has already talked about it, but quickly spent over 25 years with IBM, Oracle, Microsoft, Google across 25 countries. So fairly global in nature. Love and passionate about innovation and disruption strategy, scale, alliances, partnerships. global expansion helped multiple enterprises and startups, including SMEs, to go beyond the country, look for opportunities, and digitally transform. I think this is very important during the context of the entire discussion. We'll talk about why digital is no more just important, but it is mandatory for all of you on the call today to actually leverage and survive in this world. I think all of you know about the Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest, and I think we probably talked something about in terms of why technology is no more a choice. It is something which you have to adapt. And as the after the pandemic strike in last 6 months, I would have advised at least 6 to 7 mid enterprises who started embracing technology quite mainstream. I'm on board of multiple businesses. Run an enterprise called CEO and co-founder called Turning Ideas Ventures. We are an active angel investor and startup incubator with offices in London, US, Singapore, and India. India, we're based in Noida. I do guest columns for Economic Times. So if you search on Google about uh, columns on startups, startup founders, something very passionate about. Next, please. Okay, so what are you planning to cover today? I think uh, the most important aspect, especially in these time post-pandemic, since I work very closely with mid and small enterprises too, every enterprise owner has come back to me and said that, how do I scale and scale fast? How do I survive this wave? How do I let my teams work remotely? A lot of very, very interesting questions. I think in my 25, 26 years of career, I think while pandemic is not a great situation to be in, but I think the current situation has actually let all the founders and all the people across across the country started thinking about uh, digital as a mainstream, which is I think it's a blessing in disguise. I think what's happening is most of the entrepreneurs, CEOs, founders are now taking digital as one of the clear tools for growth. And what we're going to talk about today as a first bullet is how do you define digital transformation? I think it looks to be a very interesting word. Everybody's talking about let's go digital transform, but what is it for an enterprise who is probably exporting? I saw a lot of people talking about exports, who was creating handicrafts. I think Abhay and we were engaged with some of the social companies, social ventures, which Vicky has been embracing and giving grants to. What is it? What does digital transformation mean for a regular business who has been creating goods, who's been selling goods traditionally? How does it change in the new world? That's one. The second is the changing customer expectation. The customer has also changed with post-pandemic situation. There will be new ways of buying, selling, alliances, strategy. Expectations of customers have changed drastically. So does that demand for some sort of digital transformation? Yes, certainly yes. So we will possibly talk about that. Now the third bullet comes to be something very, very interesting. I think first and foremost, guys, this is not a presentation. We are trying to do a workshop, and the objective, each one of you should have some plan after the end of 2 hours of today's discussion, which you can implement, and you can come back to us, follow up with us. We are here to help you. The objective with FICCI is, the FICCI came up with a clear direction saying that how can we actually help our member companies in these times? Some of those are challenged by digital. They have an understanding of the digital. They're open to transform. But how is that they can take the first few steps? And this is what we are here for. Today's objective is to create some sort of a very high level 180-day priority roadmap to bring digital growth in your company. So first and foremost, to understand what digital transformation is, then how your customers have changed in post-pandemic world from the digital viewpoint. And third is create some sort of a plan, small, mid, large, which is what we're going to define today for your company, which is something which is implementable. It is not just another presentation or a gyan where you talk about digital transformation, big jargons, etc. But how does it affect me? How can I implement in my companies what we want to do? And FICCI is clearly committed to success of all its member companies. I keep on seeing that Abhay, is super supportive. He says whatever works for the member companies, we should definitely do that. Then towards the tail end of the day, presentation of the workshop, we'll talk about how do you implement digital roadmap with some very easy tools. These are tools which does not require extensive knowledge, extensive training. These are super simple tools but high impact. How is that you can start engaging those? So 4 key items today. Why digital is important? How is the customer expectation in the digital world? Creating a broader plan and taking the first few steps using those digital tools. Can you move forward, please? So who is the workshop meant for? It's meant for pretty much anybody who thinks that digital is now an important piece in their overall strategy. Startup founders looking to reinvent their growth. I know for very late investors into multiple. Our portfolio has startups across not only tech-enabled businesses but non-tech-enabled businesses. I know for startup who is in the bags business, they do handicraft bags. They came back to us, leather bags primarily. They came back to us saying that we've been traditionally selling through distribution channels. So today that channel is completely dry. How do I move to digital? How do I actually start exporting? How do I redefine my product, positioning, branding, so on and so forth? Very, very interesting discussion. Second is the entrepreneurs. Traditional businesses who've been there, done that all for decades. How can they actually compete with the digital world? There are, I don't even complete. I say, how can they actually harness the digital business opportunities? How can you, clearly guys, one thing we all need to remember, digital is a revenue discussion. It's not a cost discussion. It's not about operational efficiency. It is about how do I introduce 2, 3, 4, 5 new channels of revenue for me? How do I increase my top line revenue base? And third is business owners, especially in the COVID times, how do they pivot? How do they actually change their current business style from the go-to-market standpoint using digital technologies? So very, very clear 3 items for startup founders, entrepreneurs, and business owners. Next, please. Yes, so Sumit, you want to introduce yourself, please?
Good evening, everyone. My name is and I'm going to be your co-host with Ashish today, and we'll be conducting the workshop jointly. So about me, I have around 14 plus years of experience as management consultant. And one thing that if I have to summarize my entire work it has to be, I've helped business owners and entrepreneurs simplify their choices. So, every entrepreneur and business owners have got number of choices and they need to choose the best one. So I help them in choosing the right ones based upon the experience and certain rationals and analytical acumen. So you can find about me on my website, and let's move to the workshop now. So there are 2, 3 requests that I have today from all of you. We are not trying to share a presentation.
Sumit, we seem to be losing you. I'm not sure whether it's only for me. Sumit, can you hear us? Sumit?
Sorry. Yes, sir, I'm here.
I think we lost you for last a minute or so.
So about me, I've been a management consultant, and I've been helping people, business owners primarily, in their next level growth journeys. So let's move from here. So I think Abhay has given a very good introduction about me. So let's start today's workshop. So I have a request that we're not trying to present a presentation to you today, but we're looking at actually doing an interactive workshop, wherein our objective is that after 2 hours of workshop today, you should have something to implement in your business from tomorrow. So we've got a lot of work to do. So one request that I have is that please pick up a pad and a pen, because there are certain exercises that we'll be doing during the presentation. So I'll be asking you certain questions, and I'll ask you to share your input. So you might require a pad and a pen to work on. The second thing is that we'll be using chat extensively during the presentation. So all your replies, all your questions, queries, you can put in the chat box, and I'll take them up during the presentation. So let's start. So now, one thing that I have is, which I want to start today's presentation by showcasing you a video. So let's look at this video. So this I found very apt for today's presentation. So let's have so
4 years ago.
So are you able to hear the sound? Please type in yes in the chat. If you're able to hear the sound, please type in yes. Just 1 or 2 yes would do.
Yes.
Okay,
I think very good.
So let's see this, right?
We started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store, so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you leave, our Just Walk Out technology adds up your virtual cart and charges your Amazon account. Your receipt is sent straight to the app, and you can keep going. Amazon Go. No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
So how did you find this Amazon Go concept, which they have actually implemented on ground? If you really like the concept, please type in cool in the chat box. If you really like the concept, because this forms the basis of today's discussion. If you really found the concept cool, please type in cool in the chat, so that get very good. Thank you so much, participants. Let's keep the energy maintained. Thanks. So let's move forward from here. So now I'm going to be launching a poll, and I want to ask you a very important question. So do you agree technology is impacting our business and lives faster than ever? So just answer the poll. I'd like to know. Let's see. Do you agree that technology is impacting our lives faster than ever? Right. I want everybody to just put your inputs into the poll, please. So I think it's unanimous. And in fact, I'd like to share the output with you as well. So let's look at the results. Everybody says that technology is impacting our business and lives faster than ever. So one question that comes to my mind right now when I actually see the result, why still, if technology is, and everybody agrees that technology is impacting our lives and businesses, so why is that 4 out of 5 companies who have implemented digital transformation have actually not done good, as you can see. So 19% have not been effective, 63% have been moderately effective, and only 18% of companies who implement digital transformation have found it very effective. So there is no question, there is no doubt about belief of companies. there's definitely, the industry statistics says that less than 1 in 5 succeed in digital transformation. So today we will be looking at reasons, and we will also be creating a roadmap to actually make this effective, very effective in your companies. So I understand the constraints SMEs have, startups have, and I've tried to develop a road plan to address those things. So let's move forward from here. Now, in spite of low success, there is also another trend which I want to share with you, that the world is spending huge resources and efforts in digital transformation. So in 2019, around $2 trillion has been the total enterprise spending in digital transformation in 2019. So that's a huge, huge number, which is being spent by companies in digital transformation. So in spite of low failure, low success rates, still companies are trying their level best to make it happen. Why is that? So we look at that in coming minutes. So one of the reason is that why digital transformation is a complicated case of in terms of success probability is because digital transformation is not just another IT project. So it requires corporate strategy, it requires business process, customer journey. So 50%, 60, more than 60% is non-IT. So as you can see, corporate strategy, business process, customer journey, when you talk about compliances, comprise more than 60% of the total elements in a digital transformation project. So one of the key reasons that I feel is leading to very low success rate is the lack of coordination between the non-IT people and the IT people. So, which also implies that in majority of the digital transformation projects, the one mistake that usually happens in terms of the perceptions also is that people consider digital transformation as an IT project. That this has to be do with an IT department of a company, but it is definitely not. 70% of the success lies in digital transformation lies in with non-IT people. So this
So
is
just
the
to add on to what Sumit is mentioning, sorry Sumit to interrupt,
Yep.
but if you see the chart here, only information and communication and application and technology, these are two IT jargons. Remaining is pure business, starting with corporate strategy. My corporate strategy, if I just take an example, would be, how do I actually grow my revenue by 50% in next 24 months? Which might translate into a business process saying that I would like to start selling digitally or online to international markets, which probably start to translate into a customer journey of how a global buyer would actually buy my product. Then probably the implementation of a marketplace or a web portal or some sort of is just 20 to 40% of that. Rest everything is my planning of growth and the transformation roadmap. So that's something which Sumit is trying to stress. Sumit, over to you.
Thank you, Ashish. As Ashish aptly stated, that a lot of corporate strategy is involved in any digital transformation project. So there's something that I really liked, and I actually found it very relevant for today's presentation and any digital transformation project. That digital transformation journey has to begin by understanding consumer pain points and then using technology to find a solution. So here I would like to introduce a very important term called consumer and pain points. So digital transformation is not just an IT project, but it is a journey which a company takes and begins that journey around consumer pain points and then utilizes, harness the technology available to find a solution. So we look at that in detail. So when we talk about digital transformation, we mean two things at the highest level. One is technology in the forefront or at the core to solve the problem. And secondly, it is about how you operate and deliver value to customers. So it is also a cultural change that requires organizations to change their organizations within. So technology and customers, these two are the most important building blocks of any digital transformation. And when I talk about customers, there's a lot of elements from marketing, sales, strategy comes into play. Going further down is the value chain, is what we talk about. So this is what primarily comprises, and you can pick up either of the two as the definitions of digital marketing as well. So now, yes, so digital marketing success is about enhancing and delivering customer value. So this is the beginning point. So that's where any successful, I'll be taking up some examples today of successful digital transformation, and I will validate this point that whichever digital transformation has been, whichever digital transformation journey has been designed around customer value has actually received success. So the success probability has been immense whenever a company has started their digital transformation journey by identifying their customer value and working on itself. So we'll talk about what customer value is and how to identify and what to do with it. So now I'll talk about customer value, but what happens when you shift your focus to customer in any digital transformation project? So I like to take some examples right now, in which there's an example of Rolls-Royce is something that I'll take up today to as my first example to explain you how working on customer value helps you create and grow your business to next level. So Rolls-Royce, as we all know, is a very famous car brand, but it also sells jet engines to various airlines. So Rolls-Royce jet engines business was kind of selling jet engines to a lot of airline companies, where airline companies were bothered about. So this the business which was doing, the customer value, the value which customers perceive. So airplane owners or airline companies were not caring about the engine much, but they were actually bothered about unexpected downtimes, which could lead to delays. And so this was the key concern area for any airplane owner or any airline company. And Rolls-Royce was selling jet engines to them. So from any conventional or traditional perspective, till the time they looked at customer value, they would have been engaged in making their jet engines better. Any common sense would have believed that Rolls-Royce would have deployed very good R&D, innovation, every department focused around creating the best and the most efficient jet engines, which are more reliable, is what they would have worked on. But when their team started studying the customer value, that how customer perceives the value of a jet engine, is that the major concern area the airlines have is that that engines work smoothly. So what they worked around during their digital transformation project is that they aligned their entire business model with this value of where engines should work smoothly. And once they started to do that, they started selling hours of operation instead of parts and services. So Rolls-Royce, when discovered and started focusing on customer value, there was a very significant impact on its business model, and their business model shifted from making money or making margins on jet engines to selling hours of operations than the jet engines or spare parts or services. So what happened? Today, if you see Rolls-Royce jet engines revenue, 80% of Rolls-Royce jet engines are supplied using this hourly fee model. So this is what changed. A conventional company which was into engine making discovered the power of digital marketing around customer value. And when they reimagined their business, they were able to discover a potent, a very emergent revenue line for their company. So this is the kind of impact customer value in a digital transformation project brings. So
At this
how did
point,
they?
at this point, maybe I think it will be interesting for each one of you to think about what is the customer value in your line of business. And maybe I'm not sure whether Sumit, if you can take one case as an example.
Yes. So,
Talk
sir,
through
I
what,
have some cases
yeah,
coming up.
okay.
I've got question. So, what they did it, I'll quickly do it. So, how did they make it happen? Is that they put about sensors. So they got support of some technologies in their times. So today's engines have more than 5,000 sensors and they generate more than 10 GB of data per second. So this data is stored uh, by Rolls-Royce, and using analytical tools and algorithms, Rolls-Royce is able to predict maintenance, predict issues, predicts problems with airlines, and is able to serve them better. So Rolls-Royce bring airlines the value of peace, value of control. So airlines are, so this is what Rolls-Royce did by focusing on customer value in digital transformation projects. So now, Anand, you can keep on asking the questions. So the contracts are formed with, contracts were formed with, so Anand Undi Krishnan, I'll take, so engines being sold directly to airlines or aeroplane manufacturer. You can find details about this case study. That my point of highlight was that data is emerging as a very strong revenue line for Rolls-Royce these days. Once they started focusing on their customer, what their customer values. So, so traditionally business. So if I talk about your businesses or majority of the business currently, so they've been believing that products, services, features, attributes, performances are the most focused terms in the businesses. But very rarely, when a company starts thinking that, for example, if you're into window decor systems, or probably you're into training programs, or in some other, if you're selling, let's suppose, health snacks. So if you think about product attributes, uh, there is a certain line of thought you'll always work on. You'll work out on reducing your raw material. You'll work on creating better and efficient products. But when you start thinking about the customer value your product gives to to your target customers, then a new thought process emerges, which can really give you a very which can open up new horizons of growth right now. So so now I'll take up one example which I've not put in the presentation. During COVID times, I was looking at case studies from China, that how is China reacting to COVID and what is happening to their businesses. So I found out a cosmetic company in China. What they did is that so as there was lockdown in China, so all their stores were closed. So, but they figured out their customers' value. What is the strength that their customers value in them? They found out that their store staff or the sales staff, one of the key things that people really value is that the advisory part which their sales team or salespeople were able to suggest to their target customers on cosmetics. So they took advantage of this situation. On Instagram, on WhatsApp, on all the social platforms, they they transitioned their sales agents as beauty advisors and started pitching. So they made their sales staff available to people, and from there they derived sales of their cosmetic products. So this also happened because of customer value focus. Moving forward from here, so my question to everybody right now is that if you've understood the examples correctly and the concept correctly, so I would request you to think and write in the chat box, what is the customer value your business gives to the customers? What do you think is the value your customer gets from your products or services? So you may be selling agriculture equipment. So tell me, what is the value your customer finally gets? What's the consequence of your product or service in the lives of your customer? So please type in your answers in the chat. Let me see if you really understood the concept well. Please type in your answers in the chat. Everybody please participate and type in your answers in the chat.
And
what is the
we're kind of misled in terms of who customer is. It'll be very interesting. I think I saw one of the gentlemen joining in from Computer Shiksha, which actually works with corporates to donate computers and peripherals to NGOs and underprivileged kids. I think, will the corporate be the customer or will the NGO be the customer? So I'm just opening a point of thought. So maybe it'll be important for a lot of, I think in my engagements with enterprises, you discover new customer personas when you actually get into those details. So please participate, guys, everybody. And this is the most important aspect. It's worth time spending to understand. If you're not still clear with what customer value is, happy to talk more about it.
Yes, you can write down your questions and queries and we'll take them up, but please participate in this exercise, because if you not understand this concept, the rest of the PPT, there will be issues in comprehending and taking out value from this. So this is a very important concept. So please, so what do you think is the customer value your business gives to the customer? Please write in the chat. Okay, Tarun is, okay, Akash Naik is writing quality. Okay, very good. Yash Chaudhary has written supplying sustainable products as competitive rates. Very good. Sanjeev Nathan, social return on investment. Very good. Uma Venkat Satish has written good products or services. Very nice. Tarun Kumar has written the value customer thinks she's ready to pay for which is not available. Okay. Tarun, what is the customer value your business gives to whichever business you are in? Okay. So can you guys,
maybe we have Dr. Rameshwar raising his hand. Dr. Rameshwar, can I request you to please put your question on the chat window, please?
Yes, cost and durability. Okay. So one small request is that in order for me to relate your customer value with your business, can you also mention the nature of your business so that I could understand that we are aligned to it? For example, Kaisar, Jamal Akhtar, lifestyle, which business are you in? Anand, which business are you in? Chandragiri Ramesh, which business are you in? Uma Venkata Satish, which business are you in? Akash Nayak, Yash, which business are you in? Okay, training and coaching. So you've chosen good products. So, okay. Okay, so I think the concept is, so we will refine this concept well. I see a lot of misalignment with the customer value and the business. So let's move forward. I'll take this up and I'll try to refine the concept more with you. So let's look at. So now, so this is a fairly content heavy slide, but let me try to reduce this up. So on the right hand side of the slide is the elements. So when you say an education company, or you probably selling courses, so you may be, so these are the elements which are functional, emotional, life-changing, social impact. So these are the element names. And on the right, on the left-hand side is a group cluster of elements. So for example, if I talk about consumer banking, so what customer perceive about consumer banking is quality. It provides access. It is hassle-free. It reduces anxiety. So these are the customer value which a consumer banking company gives. Grocery is grocery. The customer value could be quality, variety. It rewards you. It gives you loyalty bonus points. Reduces cost at your end. Sensory appeal. It could be TV service providers. So quality, variety, reduces cost for you. Apparel, quality, variety, avoids hassles. Design, aesthetic, saves time. So, you can pick up three three customer value elements from this table and pick it up. We'll come back to this also. So I would like you to pick up three customer value elements from this pyramid for your business. Whichever business you are, just pick up three elements, top three elements which you think your business, your customer perceives from your products. If you're into education, I think customers should find hope. Customers should it should reduce anxiety in people. If you're into let's suppose into interior designing, design and aesthetics.
I think we see a lot of people in the retail handicraft business. So clearly, apparel retail would be one segment which will show quality, variety, design, aesthetic. Easy, how easily?
It's easy. So okay, so we'll come back to this exercise later as well. I will ask. So just write down your customer values. We'll refine it during the presentation. So let's move. Whatever you've written, I believe everybody has seen this slide and has written something, some three elements, right? Sunir, okay, quality, design, variety. Okay. Okay, perfect. So Anand is motivation and self-actualization. Very good. This is relevant. Okay, Anjali Basak, try if you're into ladies salon and retail handicrafts, try picking up some elements and writing it. Moving forward from here, so I'll take up this FedEx example. Now, what really happens is that, so there's a very important part that I'd like to. So now what you've done is you've identified certain value. So FedEx, everybody knows FedEx right now. So FedEx was the first to put a computer readable serial number on every package in order to track them and improve their internal package handling. So they did it because they believe that package is very important. The information about package is as important as the package itself. So they developed a they created a technology, they got a technology where they put computer readable serial numbers on every package, and which could help them track and improve their internal package handling. But as they moved forward, they identified two customer values. So they found out that their customer wanted peace of mind. When the package is in transition, the end consumer is really worried about the whereabouts of the package. So they discovered that their customers are valuing something called the value of peace of mind and the value of feeling in control. So their customers were looking at value of peace of mind and value of feeling in control. So is there anybody in the group whose customers feel the same like FedEx customers felt? Is there anybody whose customers actually look for peace of mind and really relish the value of feeling in control? Is there anybody in the group whose customers are? Yes, Anjali Basak's customers. Okay, perfect. Savio de Souza's customers also really value peace of mind and feeling in control. Okay, Chandragiri also. Okay, so now what they did the entire digital transformation around these customer values. Very simple, but very effective. They decided to build a system to offer this information to their customers. And this was a game changer for them. So what they did, they created systems wherein customers could call them. It's pre-internet era, where customers could call them, ask them about the packages, and they were able to track the packages through their computer readable serial numbers. And as the internet era came, this all became online. And now this has become a norm of the industry, logistics industry. So this is another example which I wanted to take up about FedEx, where FedEx also did their digital transformation around customer value. So customer value is like a backbone of your digital transformation. So this is what you need to identify. What is the most important or top three customer values which your customers really want, aspire, which is linked to their goals or purposes. So and then create a digital marketing game plan around it. So let's we'll develop this idea of customer value in next few minutes as well. Going forward from here, there are two more customer values apart from peace of mind and feeling in control that I want to share. So before that, let me ask you a question. Everybody knows about Netflix. So Indian television era started with Doordarshan, then a lot of channels came, and then Netflix came. So why do you think Netflix was able to succeed in spite of so many content channels? Anybody would like to give some inputs in this? Please write in the chat. Why do you think Netflix was able to succeed in spite of so many content channels on a television? Why is that so? Anybody who would like to put some thoughts, please write in the chat. Let me take the thoughts up. See, guys, I told you that this is not going to be a presentation. It's going to be a workshop. You'll have to use your gray cells. This is important. If you really want to take away something which you can use after investing 2 hours of your precious time. So you'll have to participate and you'll have to work with me. Okay, Sanjeev, Chandragiri says customers could choose control in their hands, convenience. Okay, because Netflix invested utilizing their user data. Okay, personalization and content basis. Okay, Tarun, very good. Provided the customers a choice and flexibility, very good. Easy accessibility. So quite a lot of you are very close. So let me just choose anytime, choice anytime. So this is where my other two customer value parameters come into play, which is value of personalization and value of lower transactional cost. So internet actually gave tremendous on unprecedented abilities to organize and content across multiple consumers, build up recommendation engines, and actually recommend actually find out what people actually wanted to watch, what kind of recommendations could make their screen time more enjoyable for them. So these are the two customer values around which Netflix has formed and is currently leading the show. So Netflix also, when it started as a video rental organization. So, but during their process, they actually discovered the customer value, the value of personalization, and they built they reimagined their business and built up a business model around that. And today, they are a successful case study which we all refer to. And the second one is value of lower transaction cost. So this is another point. Customers, no matter what, where, they're always looking at saving money, lower transaction cost. So they're always happy about saving some money, no matter who's there. Even if you go to Bill Gates and pitch a product, and if it is a repetitive transaction cost, he'll definitely talk to you about the some savings there. So these are the two more values, customer values, which you need to note down. So please note down those 4 values. So value of personalization, value of lower transactional cost, value of peace of mind, and value of being in control. So these are the 4 customer values around which you need to discover, or I would say reimagine your business. So these are the 4 factors around which, if you will start thinking about your business, you will start seeing your business in a different light altogether. And this is what will form basis of digital transformation in your business. So is this concept of customer value now getting clear to everybody? Please type in yes if you're able to relate to it much more in a better way. So
yeah, and if you have any questions, please do write the questions as well in case anybody is not able to relate it well.
Okay. So, okay, Chandragiri Ramesh wants me to repeat 4th. Okay. So now, if you have any questions, what about the rest? Are you clear about the customer? How about speed? Okay. So speed would actually be an attribute related to a value of being in control, value of being in peace, right? So it's a subset of those first two values, right? Right, just a moment. So, so now, okay, so I'm repeating the fourth, cost of a value of lower transactional cost. So lower transactional cost is something that I will term as customers are always, you see a lot of today's youth or your target customers must be looking at deals. People who are in B2B are always facing negotiations with their clients. What is this? If you look at from the customer's point of view, you will find out that he's actually valuing, looking for a value in terms of lower transactional cost. He wants to do a deal. He wants to make the deal by lowering the transactional cost at his end. And that is why continuous negotiations are happening. So this is something, a very important attribute around which businesses. So now, if you'll see a lot of companies like Tata Sky. So when the DTH came to India and the set-top box were made mandatory and paid channels started coming, you look at almost all the DTH companies. They all have given this power to the customers to lower the transaction cost. So this is where the choice of saving money has been given to the customer. The telecom companies are doing it. They're asking you to choose your own plan. Why are they doing it? Because they realize that the customer is constantly looking to lower the transactional cost at their end. So their digital transformation projects in their company have been around reducing the transactional cost and also at the same time increasing the personalization cost. Is this concept clear to everybody? Please type in yes if this is not clear. If you're clear with this example. Yes, okay. So let's move. Now I'm going to be putting an interesting conversation so that, we've talked about customer values, but still there are cases where I've seen goof ups happening. So how do they happen? We'll just look at a quick example. So I'll give you a banking sector examples. So there is a digital transformation consultant or a company, and there was a bank which was looking for digital transformation. So both of them met and started interacting. So what was their interaction? So the senior executive asked, what is the first step we need to take to transform? The digital marketing as a digital transformation specialist said, you need to first truly understand what customers want. So exactly what I've been telling you for last 15, 20 minutes. So they said, okay, fine. So they did, okay, fine, we'll go and actually understand what our customers are looking for, are wanting. The bank executive went back, they did a survey, they did analysis, they did focus group discussions, and they came back. Now what happened, they came back and told the digital specialist, the transformation specialist, 70% of our customers want a mortgage. 70% of our customers want a mortgage. The digital transformation specialist thought for a while and said, we don't think we have met any customer who actually wants a mortgage because it's such an exciting product or an enjoyable experience. What they really want is a home. Are you participants, are you getting the crux of my message, which I'm trying to convey to you? Are you getting the crux of the message that I'm trying to communicate to you? Please type in yes if you've understood what I'm trying to tell you. Is that in spite of understanding of the concept, in spite of doing a research, this is many a times this is what happens. So if you're going to, for example, if you're going to, so there might be a point where your team will come and actually talk in terms of products. No matter how much customer language you want to incorporate inside your company, they will still talk about products. Why this happens? Because you are the one as owners who always talk profits and revenues. And profits and revenues are always visible on your balance sheet, directly derived from your product sales. So your team is able to justify. Because customer values, customer requirements, and data, customer requirements are never mentioned on balance sheet. This is being the most important stakeholder of your business. There is no mention, no parameter to track customer. So this is something that actually a very important element where we need to understand that when you talk about digital transformation, there will be times when you will be implementing it, you will get caught up between products that, and you'll kind of miscalculate the customer requirements like this, the way the banking official did. So please try to avoid that mistake when you're actually looking at, so people go for mortgages from bank because they want to buy something which they want to enjoy, whether it's a car loan, whether it's a bike loan, whether it's a home loan. So this is something what drives them to a bank to take up a loan. So and that is and so the point, what does this imply in terms of digital transformation? That banks need to make the home buying experience beautiful, because this is what will decide. So every banking customer who's taken a home loan is actually looking at buying a home. So if he ends up buying a wrong home, or ends up not feeling satisfied, that impact will actually come to the bank, and this is what happens. So majority of the customers, so I'll take one more example to explain this concept. So you can start your digital transformation journey by reimagining your business around these 4 values. So value of peace of mind, value of feeling in control, value of personalization, value of lower transactional cost. So now I'll take up one more example, and there's a question that I have to explain this point. So all of us are aware about Amazon. We are aware of Warner Brothers. So in 2011, Amazon got into partnership with Warner Brothers and launched Amazon Studios to produce motion pictures and content. And they suddenly started competing against Hollywood studios. So my question to all of you is that as we are talking reimagining business, so what do you think? Why did it make sense for Amazon, which started as an online retailer, to move in this direction? Please type in your views in the chat. What do you think? Why did Amazon, which was an online retailer, actually got into the movie business? Why was it? What really would have happened in Amazon that would have made it move in this direction? Please type in your inputs. Just think about it, guys. Okay, very good. Okay. Content creation, okay. Okay, client started streaming movies. Okay. Okay, Tarun, quite close. What about the rest? There are 40 plus participants there, 35 plus participants were. What about you guys? Please think and give me some input. Because if you're not able to find out what reimagine Amazon's business, whose data is public and whatever is doing, so how would you reimagine about your business? Something new and innovative. Okay, understand customer behavior based on movie choices. Okay, customer demand. Okay, so but that demand was fulfilled by Warner Brothers and Disney also, right? So why did, I'm sure that nobody would have asked Amazon to produce movies, right? Nobody would have actually asked Amazon to produce movies. So now what I'm going to be talking about is home videos was gaining, right? So now my point here is, let's look at what really happened. Just a moment. Because Amazon found out that video content helps Amazon convert viewers into shoppers. So this is what they actually figured out, that the target customer who's actually buying from their own product is the same person who's watching the movies. And in fact, Jeff Bezos also said that when their content actually wins a Golden Globe, it helps them sell more shoes. So, but the point here is that so what they did is that they identified the customer value as something that as they so what I mean to imply by giving you Amazon example is that Amazon, in order to increase the customer value, got into a completely unrelated business. Unrelated business. Why? Because just to enhance customer value. So this establishes the importance of customer value in any business. And Amazon is one company which is leading the work in customer value in entire world. Be it Kindle, be it Echo, be it Prime, they are, so many of the things that they are doing is completely unrelated to their existing mainline business, but they're doing it because they're working on customer value. And why are they able to do it? Why were they able to figure out this? Is something that I like to ask you, right? So why do you think that they were able to figure out this? Is my next question to you. Now I've told you the answer to that. Now you're going to be, I want you to tell me, why do you think that Amazon was able to reimagine their retail business around entertainment content and not anybody else? What is the strength that Amazon had or probably was able to identify? Any inputs? Please type in chat if you've got any inputs here. People, please give me an input.
I think this is important because this will actually force you to think beyond the regular. Otherwise, you come out of the comfort zone of reimagining your business.
Yep. So people, whatever business you are, just try to think that, how could Amazon imagine? Because if you're able to figure this out, you will also figure out a way to reimagine and next level growth in your business as well. So let me know, how could Amazon reimagine their retail business around entertainment content, completely unrelated business segments? How were they able to do it? What was the underlying thing happening in their company which gave them this, unconventional input on strategy? What really happened? Okay, Yash Chaudhary, foresight in data analytics. Good. People are moving to social media was a driver. Okay. So Savio, this information was available to any ABC company in the world. Sanjeev Nathan, data analysis, very good. Market research, I am sure no market research could figure out this, that Amazon should actually get into content. Tracking customer with good, Rana Joy, this is all quite close. Specify customer segment, quite close, good. Product endorsements were always part of the entertainment business. Okay, but have we ever seen any, they're spending on product endorsements with celebrities? Very rarely, right? So this is something. So now, yes, so quite a few of you have been able to actually give this answer. So I'll just getting hold of some customers. Okay, Mahin Basha. Okay, the world is around entertainment. It was to it. Okay, very interesting. So probably okay. So getting hold of same customers. Okay, so let me reveal the answer. We've got a lot of things to do now. So data and customers were made critical assets of the company to explore new growth possibilities. So majority of you were right. Data and customers. These are the two most integral elements which Amazon made part of their company and considered them as assets. Is there any, so all of you would be doing in business, right? Is there any balance sheet, any financial report which actually takes care of these two elements? No, definitely not, right? So all the newer businesses like Amazon, who are actually growing in today's time, have realized the importance of these two things: data and customers. World is still figuring out how to value data, which is there with the company. There's the valuation factors around data is still a mystery. Customers definitely. So customers definitely people have figured out using different valuation methods, but data is still a mystery, which I hope will get solved in years to come. But data and customers are made critical assets of company to explore new growth possibility. So Ashish, uh, I would like to invite you right now to talk a little bit about the importance of data, because from your experience with Google and Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, how do they perceive data? So we can have some insights and some perspectives for our participants right now, please.
Yeah, I think you made a very valid point in terms of importance of data, and more than data, I think uh, if you would have seen, I would go back to a last decade or so. The importance of data has transformed into two major new buckets. One being the information, and second being the analytics and decision making. So data per se, and that's why if you see in last 3 to 5 years, there's been a lot of focus on machine learning, artificial intelligence. The objective here is, now that we have this massive data, how do we actually derive decisions around that? So can we ingest and create capabilities? And that's what uh, Google, when I was with Google, I started the Google India enterprise business. I clearly remember one of the key aspects was the enterprises realized that the importance of data is beyond just keeping it safe and secure. Now it was the time to actually leverage the data. First, the first 5 years, I would say decade of 2000 was more centered on deriving information around that. And once the information, which was what we call as the analytics era, where we see the business intelligence, reporting, the MIS is what we used to get to see what is happening. So it's like most of it was post-mortem. The second, this decade is seeing is more along the decision making and proactive decision making and near real-time decision making on that information, which is what we're seeing with artificial intelligence. And so I think clearly data forms one of the firm foundation for all the large data player, be it AWS, be it Google. Just to give you a perspective, uh, Google, and this is a question back to everybody. Whom do you think is the largest hardware manufacturer in the world? Anybody wants to put it on chat window, please? Largest hardware manufacturer, computer manufacturer, server manufacturer. Yeah, I think that's the name which normally comes to a mind, be it IBM, HP, Bosch, Apple. But surprisingly, you will be very surprised to it's Google. So Google is one of the largest hardware manufacturers in the world, but unfortunately, they don't retail or they don't sell that one hardware. Every piece of hardware that the Google manufactures is actually consumed within the Google data centers. The biggest manufacturers of the hard disks, indispensable disposable hard disks, is Google. Server manufacturers. Google has, just to give you, and this is all public information, that's why I can talk about it, is has its own fiber which can take you to moon and come back 8 times. That's the scale we are talking about, the data and its usage. So clearly, I think the next set of success of those enterprises will be able to make decisions around data, transitioning data to information, which is what all of us are doing. We do all sort of reporting, post-mortem, saying that how much we sold, whom do we sold it to, but how do we actually do proactive decision making and leverage that data to make very effective decisions, which is what going to clearly create an edge in the digital transformation world. So all of you really need to think about, if you are a new enterprise or if you have been into existence, you have huge customer data, whether it's the interaction data, whether who's buying, why is he buying, how occasionally do they buy, what price points do they buy, where do they come from, what time they buy. All this information data is massively important for you to derive the customer value and actually create a digital strategy around that. Sumit, did I answer your question?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Ashish, for this, for the valuable insight. Let's move forward, participants. I like to take one more example. So all of those people who are actually feeling that I'm only taking up examples of technology giants. So here is a machinery company that I'd like to mention right now to give you an idea about how they did their digital transformation. So John Deere, which is into heavy machinery, and they were quite successful in their own times to, selling machineries like tractors, plowing equipments to farmers and construction companies. But in early 2000, the company began adding softwares and sensors to their products. So they could see. So they also identified the customer value. They figured out the customer value that similar to FedEx, they figured out that their customers are looking would really value if something that could help them improve their productivity, reduce uncertainty, be in control, and have peace of mind. So they started working on that segment. The same customer value segments is what I'm talking about. So what they did is that they started deploying, collecting data through various sensors that they put into their products. So around over 3 lakh acres uh, of farming is what their customers were doing. So they collected data and actually created mechanism to help farmers optimize their fertilizer usage. And, and they saw a big opportunity. And this company transitioned from farm equipment manufacturer to a farm management company that provided predictive maintenance, weather information, seed optimization, irrigation through remote sensors. So they in fact they created their own app platform and opened it to developers where they could develop apps. So I'm talking about a company which was a farm equipment manufacturer. When they started reimagining their business around customer value, this is what they did. So you can also do the same. If you follow the guiding principles I'm sharing right now in the presentation, you all can do this in next 180 days. I'll demonstrate you what path you need to do to actually figure it out. The first key thing is uh, find out the right customer values. We'll talk about a little bit more on this. So let's move forward from here. So so let's do a small exercise. So now before that, I'd like to actually do a small poll wherein I like to ask you is that everybody that seeing what all I've talked about data and customers, do you agree that data and customer knowledge will be critical in digital transformation and your next level growth? So I am, sorry. So here's the poll I'm launching. Please just participate and just let me know what do you feel. So do you agree data and customer knowledge will be critical in digital transformation and next level growth? Brilliant. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that's what I got. There's only 1% person who thinks that data. Oh, that's very interesting that there's one person who actually thinks that data and customer knowledge will not be critical in digital transformation and next level growth. So if you could share your inhibition, that would be a very wonderful point I would love to take if you could share. So whosoever has actually picked up no, so if you could share your inhibition, we can take that up. Maybe that inhibition could be there with a few more people and probably answer to that, or we could also be aware about it. So if you could write that your inhibition, I'll be more than happy to take this up. Yes. Anybody who's actually written the no, that the person who thinks that data and customer knowledge will not be critical, please type in your inhibition. Why do you think so? Let us all get to know about this. So anyways, let's do a small exercise now. So I would like to ask few questions so that we could start reimagining our business and actually move towards digital transformation. And I'm going to be asking questions. What you need to do is that you need to score your yourself or your business on those parameters in binary. If you agree, give yourself a score of 1. If you do not, please give yourself a score of 0. So let's move forward from here. So my question to everybody right now is, so do you have system to track how your buyer is buying your product? So so these are 10 questions which I'd like to ask. So I will believe that you've got a system if your answer is anywhere upwards of 7. I'll believe it. So right. So let us, or probably 8. So let's look at that. So my first question is that if you know how and where your customer starts his search for your product that you sell, please note it down on your pad, and I would like to take the consolidated scores. Please do not type in your individual scores, not required. Please note it down. How and where, if you know how and where your customers start their search for your products, if your answer is yes, please give yourself a score of 1. If your answer is no, please give yourself a score of 0. Now, second question, which places, online, offline, he visits before making the purchase? If you know that these are the websites he's going, these are the blogs he's reading, these are the reports he's visiting, report sites he's visiting, or probably stores he's visiting, or probably your competitor websites he's visiting. If you have that information with you at this very moment, right? At this very moment, if you have that information, at where your customer visits before making purchase, give yourself a score of 1, or else give yourself a score of 0. If you know, the third point, if you know.
Just I think there's a Yash, you put in saying that is this applicable to B2B? Yes, certainly yes.
Yes.
Because B2B also makes such decisions. You really need to understand the customer behavior very well.
So Dell, has our difficult to measure for B2B exports? No, it is not. B2B, it's in fact easier. Why? Because if you're, suppose, for example, into a farming equipment site, and your buyer is sitting in Australia or Netherlands, where is he going to be coming, which websites he'll be visiting when he's actually looking at sourcing farming equipments from India. Which are the top 2 or 3 websites he'll be contacting if he's looking at sourcing for India? So for B2B, also these questions are valid. So if you know the answers, give yourself score of 1 or else 0. Who influences his buying decision? So I'm very sure that it could be his purchase manager, it could be his engineer, it could be probably some industry expert or consultant, whosoever. If you know who influences his buying decision, could be his customer or consumer. For example, if demand for a certain product decreases among customers, the customers will actually influence the buying decision, right? Or probably the after sales service of a company is bad. The peer group is influencing the buying decision of your customers, right? So give yourself 1 if you know the answer to who influences his buyer decision. What are his obstacles to buy? So what is it that he considers obstacles before buying? For example, he could think that reliability of the product, warranty issues, quality issues, price, lack of transparency in pricing, or probably any other element. So he may not be convinced about the efficacy of the product. So whatever be it, what are his obstacles to buy? If you know the answer, type in, score yourself 1 or else 0. So why he does not buy your product? Do you know the reasons? Whenever you actually miss a sale, do you know the exact reasons why why that particular customer has not bought your product? If you have this information, if you have a system which can tell you this information in your company. So, if I ask you that, can you tell me why your last 10 customers have not bought your product? Can you tell me this answer? You have a system to track this up in your company. If you have a system, give yourself a score of 1 or else give yourself a score of 0. Why and when he buys your competitor products and services? What are the triggers when he goes to your competitor, and which competitor? If you have this information inside your company, if your salespeople can tell you, I said, this customer did not buy from us, he bought from this competitor. If you have this kind of an information, if you have a system in your company which can give you this kind of an insight, give yourself a score of 1. No matter what business are you in, all these questions are aptly valid. So if you have this information, be it whether you're in education, if he's not enrolling in your course, which course is he enrolling, or he's just giving up on the decision to enroll. If you have this, so this is the kind of information level, and do you have a system around it? 7th point, do you have a system to analyze and report these insights? So all this data that is present, you might be having data, but do you have a system to analyze this and report these insights? Do you have a weekly or a monthly or a quarterly system in your organization wherein you analyze these insights? That, this quarter we've lost 15% of business to competitor A, 20% of business to competitor B, or customers, 20% customers have not bought a product because of these 3 key reasons. Do you have this system in your organization? If you have it, give yourself 1. If you do not have it, give yourself 0. So next 8th is, do you review this information on monthly basis at least? If you review this information on monthly basis, give yourself 1 or else 0. 9th, does your marketing and sales team use this data while planning? So this data could be there in your organization, but is your marketing and sales team use this data while planning? If your answer is yes, give yourself 1 or else 0. Last 10th point is, does your R&D and product team, development team, use this data while planning their products, new products, doing R&D? Does your R&D and product development team use this data while planning? If yes, give yourself a score of 1 or else give yourself a score of 0. So I've gone through 10 points. And now I would request you to sum it up and share me your total score out of 10. Please type in your total score in the chat. Let us see what have you got. Okay. Sunir has got 6, Uma has got 3, Anand 3, Savio D'Souza, very good, you've got 8. Brilliant. What about the rest? Rituparna 6, very good. HP 5, okay. Sanjeev 2. Okay. Savio, which are the 2 elements where you could not score a perfect 10? Savio, tell us. Which are the 2 elements, 2 pointers where you could not score? Tarun, 4, okay. Anjali Basak, 6, okay, very nice. So, so please don't feel disappointed. This is just to tell you the current status. If you start working on these elements, 10 elements, so Madhumita, there is no team size factor into it. It could be a team of 2 to 3 people also, and it could be a single person also. Are you using it? Do you have a system? Even if you're a solopreneur, and if you have a system which you actually use to find out obstacles to buy out your customers, this serves the purpose. This has nothing to do with team size. Last 2 points. Okay, very interesting. So Savio actually missed out on 9th and 10th. So okay, fine. So that's good. So now what I'm trying to do is I would request you to so this presentation would be uploaded on YouTube, and it would be available to all of you to actually refer and visit and have a look. And you can utilize these. You can also take a print screen of this slide also. And I would request you in the next 20-30 days, if you could work out and create a 10 on 10 score, I'll really feel good about it. And here's the very important thing. People who actually do this, please do let us know. We'll feel very more than happy that we finally helped you achieve 10 on 10. So let us know. Me and Ashish both will be very happy if you're able to achieve 10 on 10 on this. And once you'll achieve it, believe me, you'll have a lot of confidence to implement digital marketing. You do it, you're ready for digital marketing.
And in case if you think that, there's few questions where you think you're not able to figure out how do you actually get a 1 on that in terms of who influences your buying decision, what are the tips, tricks, mechanisms to actually get the answers to those questions, feel free to reach out to us. More than happy to support you guys.
Yes, if you have problems figuring out the system to do it, we'll be there to help you out. So, So we will be more than happy to support you, help you. So please, we'll share our email IDs at the end of the presentation, and you can mail us on that presentation, on that email ID. So let's move forward from here. So moving forward from here, so what have we covered up till now in the presentation? So what we've done is we've understood and defined importance of digital transformation in your business. We've understood the importance of data and customer. We've also looked at the changing customer expectations through various examples, FedEx, Amazon, Rolls-Royce. Then why, if you figure out the importance, we identified importance of customer value. We also did need gap analysis on your current issue, this 10-point exercise. And now we will look at moving forward from on the 180-day priority roadmap. So now you know where you stand in terms of readiness for digital marketing. So people who have got score upwards of 6, 7 are almost there to start digital transformation in their own organization. You are at a very good base and ground. So, but people who have not achieved score of more than 6 currently, it would be good you just try to fix this up, because we'll also cover your story in our priority roadmap, right? So let's move forward from here. So last half an hour, we'll be talking about next 15-20 minutes. We'll talk about the rest of the 2 elements, and then if you have any questions, we can have, and then conclude the session. So moving forward from here. So 180-day digital transformation blueprint for your business, right? So let's start. This blueprint has got 4 phases. The first phase is something that I have discussed, which is reimagining your business. So so now around, so first thing is that please start noting it down, is that what you need to do is you need to start reimagining your business around your customer values. So whatever customer value you've thought about, so start reimagining your business around that. Once you start reimagining your business, you will start seeing maybe different types of customers, maybe looking at opportunity. You will start seeing opportunities. You'll start finding constraints in your existing business model. Or so be it a supply constraint, be it vendor constraint, be it a financial constraint. You'll start seeing constraints when you start reimagining your business. This happens. This is very natural, right? So what exercise that, so I'll create the roadmap. So these are the 4 phases through which you will pass once you'll start working around the customer value. So first phase is reimagine your business. The second one is reevaluate your value chain. I'll explain what I mean when I say value chain. The third one is, once you do reimagine your business and you actually look at the value chain, then you come up with certain propositions, some goals that you would like to implement to bring in digital transformation, or take your business to different level, or grow your business, or multiply revenues, or multiply or enhance customer satisfaction. And once you have that thought, you will like to reconnect with your customers. So with phase 1 and phase 2, you will have something to take something to take to the customer. So that's the time you need to start thinking upon how to reconnect with your customers. And once once you actually plan out how to take it to the customers, then you'll require that, how will I sustain it? And that's where the 4th phase comes, rebuilding your organization. That's where we look at people, we look at process, we look at coordination, department coordination, and everything. So these are the 4 building blocks of any good digital transformation journey. So let me get into a little bit detail on this. So what do we do in reimagining your business? So that's the thing that I'd like to share right now. So first step, reimagine scope and business growth around customer value. So for example, you've picked up, let's suppose, let's pick up a window decoration company, right? So let's pick up a window decoration company, wherein they start feeling that customers want peace of mind. Value of peace of mind is what their customers start valuing. right? Or the second is value of personalization is the another customer value. We are taking an example. They identified these two. Now, when this company will start, so window decoration means blinds, curtains, and other equipments. So once they start reimagining their business around these two customer values, they'll start thinking in the direction that how can I provide peace, value of peace to my customer? And they will get into a same situation which uh, Rolls Royce was in. They were selling engines, airlines was buying peace, looking for peace, right? So you might think about saying that, why can't I develop a Windows solution which automatically reminds if there is any fault in the product? For example, it could be an IoT sensor that I put in, wherein if there is any problem with the rollers, it could inform me directly, and there is a beep that comes from a particular product ID, and I could find out that my product has received a problem at the customer end, and I can actually activate my customer support to call for a predictive maintenance. So this is how things will start coming into your mind when you start imagining. For example, let's take something called let's take something like, give me another example, give me some businesses. Let's do a little bit of exercise to give me some businesses which, what business are you
Anybody
in?
wants to volunteer their business, I think this is a great opportunity. You'll get a head start.
Yes.
Anybody maybe want to put it in chat window if you want to
Yes,
volunteer?
give me your business. Give me your business and customer value that you identify. Let me build this up right now. So
No volunteers. I think this is a great opportunity to getting a head start.
tell me your business. I'll take up that as an example. Give me which business are you in? Give me a business. Okay, leather goods.
Yeah, Bhavna, I think Bhavna has been doing manufacturing leather goods. She manufactures leather bags.
So Bhavna, give me the customer value that you've identified your customer. Whatever you feel is the value that why do customers buy? Good quality, right? Okay, perfect. So good quality is something that you are talking about. So
On-time delivery.
On-time delivery. Okay, perfect. So for on-time delivery, you can implement a FedEx kind of a model. Why not actually create a system in your company to actually give your customer value of peace, value of being in control? So you can, once you start thinking about reimagining your entire leather goods, you can even
I'll give you an example, Bhavna. So maybe what Sumit mentions is peace of mind. If I'm going to buy a leather bag, and if you tell me, okay, if you are so sure of the quality as a product, you say, I'm going to give you a 90 days warranty to return the product if there's anything which is you're not liking it in terms of the quality of the product per se, because you're sure of the quality itself. That gives me peace of mind as a customer, because I know the product the manufacturer is giving that kind of a trust, saying on the product that they are extending me a 90-day whatever that level of warranty or support. The second is the traceability. So if you can actually talk about leather, I think the ingenuity is one of the important aspects, because you get fake leather. So if you actually give a traceability back from the counterfeiting, how does if I am a customer, how can I validate that I've got a genuine leather product? That's the other aspect. So Sumit,
yes, absolutely.
Do you think those?
You there, absolutely perfect reply. So Chandragiri, Ramesh, I'll take you. If you're into after sales service, how about actually, so they would also be, your customers could be looking at being in control or being at peace, value of peace. So why not? So you can reimagine a business around delivering this particular value to your customers. Why not actually share your on-time score or your customer feedback, clear customer feedback? So this would start implying that your service, your customer, what are the things, what are the tasks, or what are the areas in which you can actually delight your customers on a continuous basis, is something that we can talk about, right? So selling digital courses. So digital courses, yes. So what would your customers look at? So I'll give you a when you'll start doing research, because we are also into training programs. So one of the things for digital courses that we figured out is that completion rate of courses is very low. So people have a low morale after three months of registering into a course program. So can you do something about it? Can you actually create a system wherein people who enroll for your course actually get a learning experience manager who actually calls them at a certain point of time? This these things to actually develop this thing and digitize the whole thing. Or probably, if I talk about a high end level of digitization, why not actually why not actually send him WhatsApp notification on starting the course? Why not actually tell him how his peer group who have actually, why not create gamification elements into your course delivery? So all of these can be weaved into into your business model, and this could actually be the differentiating edge compared to your competitors. So Tarun, vocational education, you can implement the same thing. Salon. So I would, Anjali, I'll find out that, advice is something that you can actually play upon. Your customers might look at a good advice on cosmetic product consumption. So why not actually figure out a mechanism or a roadmap to deliver this to your this customer value to your customers. So you can figure out all of these things in your business using this, right? So is it making sense to you? Are you able to relate to what I'm talking right now?
I think one important point I want to highlight is, guys, we're seeing the Airtel commercial nowadays, which is very centered on customer value, which is about zero complaints. They accept that there are complaints in their network, but their goal is to actually reach out to zero complaints. Such an open initiative.
Yes, it's a very relevant initiative. Yes,
that's a classic example of demonstrating customer value and actually echoing back with the customers.
Right. So moving forward around it, next point is that reimagine your business around it. Identify ecosystems and partnerships you need to make it a reality. For example, if you figure out that you probably have to actually give learner notifications, WhatsApp could be a partner. Or you can collaborate and actually get an SMS gateway, wherein you can actually create automations. So there are a lot of simple tools available on internet. We'll talk about some of them in today's presentation as well. So this is the first phase that you need to do. The next phase is, then once you start looking at, you need to, once you decide that this is the roadmap you will take, you'll have to reevaluate your operations around customer value. For example, if I say that in my operations, if I say that my customer peace of mind is what I will measure as customer value, I need to align my operations accordingly. So any operational efficiency input will be related to customer value. For example, number of customer complaints will have a performance impact on the operation guys. Is something that I need to work out. So this is how you'll weave it up. So then channel strategy. How would you communicate this in your marketing channels, sales channels? And how would you do it consistently? Delivering consistent customer value is something that you will be looking at doing. Next comes is reconnect with your customer. So when you do that, do the first and the second phase, you need to create a customer acquisition game plan around customer value for your products. So now you find out, you figured out that we have pioneered or championed the aspect of giving peace to our customers, or being in control feel, or giving them personalization, or giving them lower transactional costs. Then you need to create the whole game plan around it. Why this will work? Because this is what customers' subconscious mind is looking for. So your marketing game plan will also start getting aligned, right? Create engagement and nurturing game plan for your existing customers first. So whatever you do it, try to implement with the existing customers and measure the efficacy, and then create it for the new customers, and then start measuring the customer value score. That my customer value score for this month has been 90%, 80%, 70%. And once you start planning this up, then you need to design the organization for innovation around customer value. So your delivery, your operations, your after sales service, your marketing, your strategy, all will get aligned for innovation around the customer value. So everything will work like a seamless mechanism. Then you will start finding up people who are fitting into the chain, and then you can identify talent, skills, capabilities in order to nurture them and do it. So these are the four uh, key phases through which your simplified, non-exhaustive uh, digital transformation project can work out. Now, talking about some action plans, I'm going to be giving you 30 days work. So next month, 1 month, what you can do is you can identify customer value and create mechanisms to measure it across customer journey. I'll talk briefly about what customer journey I'm mentioning, but note this down, please. People who are really interested to make this happen in your company, please note this down. This is an action plan, and once you do that, uh, please share your work with us. We'll be offering you guidance on this to make it happen. So identify customer value, which I've already explained for last 1.5 hours, and create mechanism to measure it across customer value. So when you write an email, you will tell me that this is the customer value I've identified, and this is how I'll measure it across my customer journey. What do I mean by customer journey? So for newer customers, this is the customer journey. So any customer in this world passes through these 5 phases: aware phase, appeal phase, ask phase, act phase, advocate phase. So aware phase is one when a customer is exposed to brands. He's searching for a product. He comes and sees 5 or 10 different products. Maybe you have a B2B business where customer is looking for a machine. He is starting his search in the aware stage. So you need to find out where is he going to learn about the product. Where is he going to find out if what kind of a product would suit him. So this is the phase in which a customer will look at gathering information and reaching a stage called I know stage. I know this information. I know what I want. Right. So you need to be figuring out this. Now the second one is appeal phase, where he starts feeling attracted towards certain brands. He starts creating a consideration set of brands. So this is a phase where a customer reaches that, okay, fine, in apparels, I want a pair of sports shoes, and I think I like Nike, I like Adidas. So liking consideration set of Nike and Adidas is formed in the second stage. The third stage, he reaches a point called he talks to his friend, or he sees some customer reviews or contacts, goes to the showroom, sees it, uh, and compares prices, try out products at stores, and then he says, I think I'll go. I think Nike is more comfortable for me compared to Adidas. And this is the stage at which he becomes convinced. Once he's done that, then he actually thinks that, okay, fine, should I buy it from the store or should I order it on Myntra? This is the kind of decision he takes. He decides, and then he acts, he buys the product. Either buys it on store, in store, or any method he chooses to buy the product. So this is the fourth phase through which a customer journey happens, where he buys your product. For B2B people, he'll actually consult you for price negotiations, product specifications, and all sort of things, and will give you the first order. Once he starts using it, he will either complain about the product or recommend the product or keep purchasing the product. So this is the phase called I recommend phase. So I've used a Nike shoe, I liked it, I'll recommend it to people. And that's how businesses grow. So now, listen to this very carefully. Around all these 5 phases, the customer value that you have identified has to be built in across all touch points mentioned in this. So your customer value should be communicated directly, indirectly. For example, you stand for peace of mind for customer. So at the aware phase, people, you should create your communication like, Nike. If Nike would do it, Nike would say it's a peace of mind product. You buy a Nike shoes, you don't have to change it every year. You don't really have to worry. So people have various kinds of issues in their feet. So Nike would take care of that, the cushions, the everything, the quality, everything. So this is what is that customer value is communicated in awareness stage. Appeal stage, when he's actually getting attracted to thing. So you figured out that there is a piece. Maybe Nike, Adidas designs are better, but Nike is something that gives me peace of mind. I don't have to worry about the quality and longevity of the product. So this is where Nike talks about, right? A product you can really use the way you want. Our stage, when he's actually talking to people, contacting everything. So the people who have actually been nurtured from the advocate stage, so the existing customers would give a good feedback. So this is the kind of so their their customer value has been peace of mind. They'll convince him, okay, fine. If you're looking for peace of mind, go for Nike. So this is the ask stage. So you need to build up your customer value throughout the customer journey. And these are the 5 important customer journey phases that you need to work out. So now, as you can see, how do you work out? I'll just give a brief summary about it. So let's do this. At the aware stage, let's suppose there's a person who's planning to buy a car. So he learns about car from a banner ad. He sees it on probably surfing through on internet. He clicks on the banner and arrive at the content site, which is probably your side, the car site. He reads about the information on the car content site, then schedules a test drive, and goes for a test drive, and pre-orders the car, pays for the car, uses the car, get the car serviced, recommends for the car, and be an evangelist of the car. Right, so this is how the customer moved across aware, appeal, ask, act, and advocate stage, right? So now,
just left with 5 more minutes, Sumit, so
yes,
we probably need to wrap up.
Yes. So the point here is that, so what you need to do is that you need to actually plan your customer value information or custom value integration across all these 5 parameters, 5 phases is what you need to work it out. So next task which I have for you is that what are the most important touch points and channels for your business around customer value and customer journey. So you can identify these parameters, mail it to us. If there is any input we'll be happy to share with you. So this is about this certain digital tools, which one of the tools that I would recommend, which will help you collect data, is implement a CRM. This is the most easiest thing. Start with Zoho CRM. If you are a small company, go for Zoho CRM. It is absolutely fine. Implement that in your business. Google Marketplace has got some CRM integrations in your Gmail account. You can do that. So I would recommend start with Zoho CRM. And CRM, what CRM is going to be doing is customer relationship management software is going to be actually segmenting your customers pre-purchase in the way that I've shown you. Aware, ask, act, and advocate stages. So it will give you segmentation across. You can find out, once you actually implement a CRM, all the information will start coming in the form of a system to you. And it will be available to you anytime because these CRMs are on cloud. So you can access them, analyze them, use them whenever you want. Now, what about the operation excellence and people transformation? Once you achieve here, I'll just briefly take 1 minute to explain this. This is the example. So I'll take the Volvo example right now. So, it's about 10-year-old story when Volvo was not able to compete with Mercedes, BMWs, and Audis. So, and also the company was not able to compete in the Toyota and GM category, which was mass market. So what they figured out is that if you see Volvo cars right now and Volvo cars 10 years back, so the team actually came up with the thought that cars are no more mechanical in nature. So Volvo figured out that their customers are valuing technology. So cars are not becoming a mechanical vehicle, but actually becoming an electronics and electrical or IoT driven vehicles. So Volvo started working on talents who could transform Volvo's culture into an entrepreneurial one. And they hired salespeople and marketers from Google who transformed Volvo's use of technology. and social media and those disciplines. They hired Nokia engineers who were accustomed to thinking about digital forms appeal to customers. So they could redesign their radio and navigation systems. So this is how Volvo implemented digital transformation in their business by using diverse sets of talent into their business and achieving success out of it. Now, you do need to adapt faster, keeping good manpower at center. So the important thing before I conclude is that next 30 days, identify a person in your company who can lead digital transformation initiative and ask him to do these two tasks. If you find success in this, you have a very good resource in-house to do digital transformation implementation in your company. So with this, how we can help, we are creating an awesome guidance and training program in coming days and weeks. So we planned out a 6 months, 2 hours weekend program, 24 live sessions is what we're looking at, bringing in experts like Ashish from the industry to help you to build a successful digital transformation story. We're trying to figure this out right now, and this is one of the first interaction with SMEs through FICCI's platform, and we're really thankful to FICCI for giving us this platform. So if you have any suggestions, questions, queries, please write to us. And over to Ashish to conclude the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks. I think it was fairly interesting session. I'm sure people on the call have got to learn from it. And I think this is probably, for me, it looks like more of a start than the end. Whatever we described, if we actually take that as a methodology, we can pretty much guarantee you success. The biggest challenge what we have seen in any digital transformation discussions is been that first few steps, which the founders, owners, entrepreneurs, SMEs are very reluctant to take. They really don't know how to start. And clearly the customer value and the 10 questions will be the great start. If you just go and start getting analysis around that, and feel free to reach out to us. And if you want to engage further, we will be more than happy to take it further. Before we actually close, maybe a quick poll.
Yes, please give us your input so that.
I think this is important. We want the entire 32 to actually respond to this.
Okay, it's 17 more guys. Please.
We will wait for, I think we want the entire.
Says yes, we want entire 28, 29 people to respond. People, please respond to this so that we get an idea about.
And before we actually close, I want to thank FICCI. This has been a great discussion. I think we're really excited to take this discussion forward and help the FICCI members. These are very interesting times, as I started in the beginning as well. Pandemic has actually forced us to think, rethink, reevaluate our business. And we have an excellent opportunity to actually pivot and grow faster. So clearly, I think great opportunity. Feel free to just consider us as an extended team. Just the way you write to FICCI for any support, feel free to reach out to us. Before we actually close, Abhay, do you want to actually put in a word to the audience?
Yeah, Ashish, in fact, to both of you, thank you, Ashish and Sumit. This was indeed enlightening for all of us, specifically for the companies who participated today, and will really help them reinvent their business, probably using these digital tech initial insights which you provided them, and start analyzing data, leverage it for their growth and expansion, and probably take the baby's first steps towards digital transformation. So on behalf of FICCI and all the participants, we extend and owe a very special thank you to both of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And I'm sure that you're seeing the poll results. 88% are looking at starting digital implementation in their organization. That's an overwhelming response for us. Thank you so much. And people who are in the maybe stage, you can write to me. I'll be happy to change it. change your perception to yes. Thank you so much. Good evening.
Thank you, Abhay. Thank you, everybody else.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Abhay, for
everyone.
making time. Really appreciate it.